What's up, you guys, and welcome to this 2020 Fall Clean and Cook with me. In today's video, I am going to be deep cleaning our entire kitchen and also preparing an easy and delicious fall meal idea. If you guys are excited to get some extreme cleaning motivation, then hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. On the menu today, we're going to be making meatloaf and homemade mashed potatoes. I found both of these recipes on Pinterest, so if you are interested, head to my description box and I will have them both linked down below. Feel free to also follow me over on Pinterest at Olivia Sward 24 because that is where I get a lot of recipe ideas as well as decorating, organizing, and home inspiration. I recently cleaned up my Pinterest board, so everything should be up to date. Also, you might recognize that my YouTube channel name has changed since my last upload. I put out a post on the community tab yesterday as well as over on Instagram, but with a lot of back and forth, I have officially decided to take on my married name, which is Olivia Sward. I am no longer legally Olivia Erickson, and although I will miss my maiden name, I just want to embrace this new chapter, and I think it will be the best long term. If you guys are excited about this new name change, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would also love it if you would leave me a comment down below. But also, along with YouTube, I decided to update my Instagram, and you can now find me at olivia.n.sward. So definitely head over there and give me a follow if you're not already. Anyways, back to the cooking. I went ahead and filled a pot with water because we are going to be boiling our potatoes in a little while. This is actually going to be my first ever attempt at making homemade mashed potatoes, so make sure to stay tuned to see how they turned out. Like I said, we are also having meatloaf, and when I was younger, I was not actually a huge fan of meatloaf, but over the years, I've come to love it. I feel like it's honestly a hit or miss. You either love meatloaf or you hate it. I would love to know down below in the comments what you guys think, but either way, it's just super easy and a great recipe for these cool fall days that we've been having here in Minnesota.
Strange, I'm not holding my tongue. Radio making me feel so numb.
So while I go ahead and prepare dinner, I just really quick want to apologize for my hair in today's video. It was later in the day when I decided to film, and I didn't want to put any makeup on just for the sake of this video. So I didn't look in the mirror and I just kind of went for it. And as I'm editing this footage, I am just cringing at how messy the back of my hair really is. Part of me is also wondering why the heck Marshall didn't say anything, but he is a guy and he probably didn't even notice, and I'm also sure you guys don't care. It is what it is.
Every month, spending every last dime, feeling like I'm just stuck in rewind. Need a change before I break so dumb, but I just wanna be someone. God, it's killing me, but I just wanna be a millionaire, a millionaire. You're my worst enemy, but I just wanna be a millionaire, a millionaire. 18 karat stuff just to feel it. Pretty diamond rocks 'cause I need it. God, it's killing me, but I just wanna be a millionaire, a millionaire. I wanna be someone,
Now that the meatloaf is prepared, I am just kind of waiting for the oven to finish preheating before I can put it in there to start baking. So right now I'm going to start peeling some potatoes. The recipe I'm following calls for 5 pounds of potatoes, but since it's just Marshall and I did my best to cut it down. I probably could have just cut it in half to make it easier on myself, but for whatever reason, I decided to just wing it and eyeball everything. I will say I do not recommend this technique.
We're falling out, we have reached disaster. don't know where we're gonna be after. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we faded. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go a lot and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. Like the waves pull you down underwater. We're fun until we hit the bottom. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we faded. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go a lot and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter.
Now that the potatoes are all cut up and the water is boiling, I'm gonna go ahead and toss them in. Afterwards, I noticed the recipe said to actually put the potatoes in cold salted water and then bring it to a boil. But since I apparently can't follow directions, I'm just gonna go ahead and toss them in, and I'm hoping they turn out. While everything is cooking, I'm just gonna clean everything up. The potatoes need to boil for about 15 to 20 minutes, so I thought that would be the perfect amount of time to go ahead and clean out our fridge. Our fridge is disgusting. We have so many old leftovers that should have been tossed a long time ago, and I also want to go ahead and organize the door and wipe everything down.
Even if we go a lot and break us down.
Back when Marshall and I moved in, we just loved how large the fridge was. Like, it was definitely a lot bigger, and it just held a lot more than our last apartment, so we were very excited. But after we got everything into the fridge, we noticed there was like this drawer on the second shelf. Well, I guess it was technically on the first shelf, but we loved it, but it was in a really odd spot. It like took up part of the middle shelf, so you're not really utilizing the entire space. Well, today when I was cleaning, I noticed the shelf moves back and forth, so you can like move it from side to side. And once I realized that, I decided to go ahead after I wiped everything down to move around my shelves a little bit just so that it made more sense. So I actually put the one with the drawer into the middle and then slid it all the way to the right so it was above like our drinks. And then that way I have an entire top shelf and an entire middle shelf, and the bin is no longer taking up space.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because of
After cleaning out our fridge today, I just cannot believe how empty it looks. It looks really great, but there's not much in it. We do have a roast that we will be cooking later on this week, and then we also have a ton of drinks on the bottom shelf, but I will definitely need to stock up on some more food now that we have some extra room. Perfect timing because the potatoes are officially done, and because our sink is full of dirty dishes right now, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and scoop out the potatoes into a larger bowl instead of trying to strain them. The directions do say that they need to sit 5 minutes before we move on to the next steps. So while the potatoes cool a little bit, I'm actually gonna go ahead and unload the dishwasher.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama and trying to be tough all the damn time. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong, I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know I get up? Yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof, I won't fall. I'm bulletproof, go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again. You're looking at
Unloading the dishwasher actually didn't take that long, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to clear out the sink a bit and just get the dishwasher loaded right back up. Thankfully, a lot of the Tupperware containers that we pulled out of the fridge are dishwasher safe, so I'm hoping I don't have a ton of dishes to wash by hand later on.
You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong, I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know I get up? Yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there ain't nothing stopping me. I'm bulletproof, I won't fall. I'm bulletproof, go on and shoot me down. I will always get up again.
Now that the potatoes have sat for 5 minutes, I'm just adding in the butter and doing my best to mash them with a spatula before I put them in my stand mixer. And I'm using a spatula because I have never made homemade potatoes, so I do not have a potato masher, which is why I'm just using what I have. But once I get the potatoes into the mixer, I'm then gonna be adding a few other ingredients, and then I'm gonna turn the mixer on medium just to incorporate everything. And I will say, I started to get a little nervous because, like I said earlier, I didn't quite cut the recipe in half. I just kind of eyeballed everything. And so they looked a little runny, and I think I added a little too much milk, but stay tuned to see how I was able to salvage them.
Wow, wow. I could lie wide awake and leave my head up in space. Countless nights and days when you are far away, and I know that it's hard, but stay with me tonight, 'cause when you...
This is just the topping to our meatloaf. It just called for quite a few different ingredients. The recipe I found actually called for white vinegar as an ingredient, and I set it out, but I was just a little too scared to use it because I didn't want the vinegar to be overpowering. So I just completely skipped it, and it turned out just fine.
the crowd. Just stay with me and make it worth your while. While, make it worth your while. All the things I would do.
So I went ahead and put the sauce on the meatloaf, and that needed to cook for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. And because my potatoes were super runny, I had the genius idea to add a few instant potatoes. But we didn't have any, just my luck. So Marshall actually said to try putting them in a pan and baking them with the meatloaf for a few minutes. And somehow that worked. The potatoes came out perfect and they tasted wonderful. They were no longer runny. So if you guys ever make this mistake, just keep this tip in mind. While everything is finishing up baking, we have a large mess to clean up. That is the one downside to making like homemade meals, is that you have all these dirty bowls, utensils, and like ingredients just all over the place. But it's usually worth it when your meal comes out as planned and it tastes delicious.
Make it worth your while. In sunlight or in the night, I'll make it worth your while. We won't hide in the crowd. Just stay with me and make it worth your while. Make it worth your while. And make it worth your while. Make it worth your while.
I'm honestly really surprised that there weren't that many dishes that I needed to wash by hand. I filled up the dishwasher pretty quick, and unfortunately they didn't all fit, but I got that started, and I'm going to try to get through as many dishes by hand as I can in the time remaining that dinner has to cook.
I could lie wide awake and leave my head up in space. Countless nights and days when you are far away, and I know that it's hard, but stay with me tonight. 'Cause when you fall apart, you know I will be around. In sunlight or in the night, I'll make it worth your while. We won't hide in the crowd. Just stay with me and make it worth your while.
As I'm wrapping up the dishes, the timer for dinner went off, so I roped in Marshall. He came over and just helped me out. He pulled it out of the oven, and I don't know what the heck he was doing here, but he's a real treat, and I just hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did while editing.
All the things I would do just to get close to you.
Here's how everything turned out. It was seriously so delicious, and I highly recommend both recipes. Again, I will have my Pinterest linked down below in my description box if you guys want to go check them out. We did take a quick break from cleaning to eat dinner together, and once we come back, we will finish tackling the rest of the kitchen.
'Cause when you fall apart, you know I will be around. In sunlight or in the night, I'll make it worth your while.
All right, so it's a little bit later now. Dinner is done, and we can go ahead and finish up washing all the dishes, putting the leftovers away, and just really getting this kitchen back to being cleaned and organized. I also want to mention that very soon I will be sharing a complete deep clean, declutter, and organize of our entire kitchen. I have a few new things that I am so excited to share with you all, so make sure to subscribe and have your bell notifications turned on so you don't miss out. Well, while we get these dishes washed up, I just want to remind you all that I have shared quite a few fall-related videos over the past couple of weeks, just in case any of you guys are new around here or maybe you missed one or two of them. If you want to see how I decorated our entire apartment for fall or our budget-friendly bathroom makeover, in that video I also shared a rental-friendly do-it-yourself for wooden shelves that turned out super cute, and there are just a ton more, so I will make sure to have a few of my most recent uploads linked down below in my description box. But if you want even more, head over to my YouTube channel page and check them all out.
My glass was always half empty, but now you're in my life. We're far away from the city lights, so small under the night sky. It's just us two, but I don't mind. You could never wear me out, even after all of these years. You still look at me with the same love. It's just us two, but
Every time I try to scrub out my sink on camera, something goes wrong and I can never get the full footage. The first time, I'm pretty sure I forgot to press record. The last time, the battery died on me. And then this time, my memory card ran out of space halfway through. But I still got it done, and I'm so happy because it was getting pretty bad. And in case anyone's curious, I love using the Mrs. Meyer's cream cleanser, and I purchased it from Grove Collaborative.
don't see us stopping now. My life's an adventure, 'cause you came along and showed me how to love without limits, to have a good time. Now my life's an adventure, and you're the reason.
Now that the dishes are washed and the sink is scrubbed out, I'm gonna go ahead and get these dishes dried and put away. And in the meantime, I would really like to know if you guys like these cook and clean with me videos. Last week I had shared a quick recipe for sweet potatoes, and a lot of you seem to really enjoy that. So if you do like these types of videos, please give this video a thumbs up and then just leave me a comment down below. That way I just know to keep making these videos for you guys. And I personally think it's nice to see what other people make for dinner, just so that I can get other ideas. Marshall and I sometimes get stuck in a rut and we make the same thing week after week, and I'm sure most of you guys can relate to that.
You could never wear me out. Far away from the city lights. We're far away from the city lights, so small under the night sky. It's just us two, but I don't mind.
Right now I'm just clearing off the rest of the stuff from the island and the counters, and then I'm going to be wiping everything down with my Mrs. Meyer spray. I have been loving all the fall scents lately, and I just cannot decide which one I like the best. If you guys use Mrs. Meyer's multi-surface spray, I would love to know which one is your favorite. Even if it's a different seasonal scent, please leave me a comment down below.
How can I compare thee when no one ever could come close? Look around, but I can't see. That is usually just how it goes. Brought a new horizon. Open up our doors to something more. Spun me round and you shook me. Got me tainted to the core. So tell me what to do. When nothing, no one ever comes close to you. Close to you. For the longest time I've been trying to find someone like you, but I keep crashing back into all the things.
While I was wiping off the counters and like our stovetop, I noticed that quite a bit of splatter was on like the stovetop nozzles and like up above where the buttons are. So I decided to pop the nozzles off, really get underneath there, wipe it all down, and I'm really glad I did because it took no time at all and the stove looks so much better. Now I'm going to take out the trash because it is overflowing. It needs to be done. And once or twice a month, I like to also wipe down the outside and inside of our garbage can because we do not have it hidden away, so it kind of just sits out in the open, and I just want to keep it as nice as possible. Also, wiping down the inside really helps with the smell. And then after that, I'm going to be wiping off our cupboards, also tackling the floors. And speaking of that, make sure you guys stay tuned because something pretty funny happens towards the end of today's video, and I decided to leave it in. So I really hope you guys get a kick out of it.
No one ever comes close to you, close to you. For the longest time I've been trying to find someone like you, but I keep crashing back into.
To wipe down our cupboards, I'm just using the Method brand Wood for Good cleaner. I have been using this stuff for almost a year, I want to say. It's definitely been quite a few months, but I seriously love the smell of this stuff, and it just makes all of our wooden surfaces look super shiny and brand new.
Closer to midnight, I try to get closer to you. Drinking courage from my red cup now. I will soon make a move.
I need to pick up some stainless steel cleaner, but for now I'm just using the Mrs. Meyer's spray to wipe down the outside of our fridge. Now I'm just removing everything from our floors. Marshall and I actually took a quick walk to go dump the garbage and recycling, and then we are going to vacuum up the kitchen floors. I do this throughout the week, but today I really focused on getting every little thing up before we bring out the Swiffer.
I try to focus on breathing. My heart is skipping a beat. Your lips against a red cup makes me lose my mind completely. Ooh, I can taste it. The bittersweetness of taking a shot. A risk worth taking it. It's a shot of love. Baby, I adore you. Maybe I adore you. Yeah, I'm feeling high. I'm up on cloud nine. Baby, I adore you. Trying my best not to lose control. I want you, that's all I know. Trying my best not to lose control. 'Cause I adore you, adore you. Trying my best not to lose control. I want you, that's all I know. Trying my best not to lose control. 'Cause I adore you. Baby, I adore you.
that?
Yes!
Oh my god. You got that on camera.
I'm so pissed! Arsh. I really hope you all just enjoyed that clip of me completely breaking our Swiffer. I can laugh about it now, but I promise you at the time I was so mad because I was only halfway done mopping our kitchen floors. Whatever, it is what it is. But at this point, I knew I needed to just wrap things up. So I went ahead and took apart the Swiffer because there was no really easy way to fix it other than a ton of duct tape. And at that point, I'd rather just spend the extra $10 to get a new one. I've actually had this one for many, many years. I had it throughout college, so it's definitely gotten its use. I also then decided to move my desk back in, and when doing so, a ton of paperwork just fell. I love that for me. But on that note, I'm going to conclude today's 2020 Cook and Clean with me. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video, and it just gave you a ton of cleaning motivation. I am so happy that our kitchen is finally clean and organized. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button because we are so close to hitting 10,000 subscribers. So make sure to hit that button and also share my channel with your friends and tag me over on Instagram. But I really hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I cannot wait to see you all in my next video. Bye!
It's the last thing that I need. Wanna feel something that's real.